Okay, let's take a look at this one. N to the negative 2 plus 4n to the negative 1 minus 12 equals 0. So we're trying to think, hey, if you compare this, you know, to the original quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, what are the values of a, b, and c? And what did x get replaced with so that we can replace the x equals in our quadratic formula and say, well, okay, here, right, a will equal 1. There's a 1 right there. B is going to be positive 4. C is negative 12. All right, we can see all that. But now, what did the x's get replaced with? N to the negative 2, n to the negative 1. And that's usually the more difficult question, right? Okay. Usually, you know what? This second one really gives it away because that's just x. X became this. Let's see if that makes sense. Did x get replaced with n to the negative 1? Well, here it certainly did. What about this? What is n to the negative 1 squared? Isn't it n to the negative 2? Don't we multiply exponents there? So this whole thing represents x squared. But x is still, like x squared became that. And so I've rewritten it this way to help us see it, right? There's x squared, there's x. And again, it's like that light bulb has to flick on, like, oh yeah, that would be x squared. And really the giveaway is this second one, that's just your x right there. So we're going to go for it. We've got our a, our b, and our c. It looks like I wrote it again. And instead of x equals, we write n to the negative 1. And so negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is really the hard part, just getting to this statement, right? What is the x being replaced with, and what are the values of a, b, and c? Once you get to here, hopefully it's not too bad, right? I recommend starting with what's inside these parentheses. Turns out all that is simply equal to 64 in this problem. And I just copied the rest of it. Hey, 64 has a nice square root. 8. And now we're just kind of working through. I'll split this into the two different statements. N to the negative 1 equals negative 4 plus 8 over 2. N to the negative 1 equals negative 4 minus 8 over 2. And I know I'm talking through this really quickly. Fortunately, you can pause anytime, go back. We're just doing some simplifying that I'm hoping we're getting really familiar with. Okay, how about this first one? Negative 4 plus 8 will be positive 4 over 2 is 2, and negative 4 minus 8, negative 12 over 2, negative 6. Okay, and we get to this, but now we realize we don't have the answers yet. There's one last step. We need n equals, not n to the negative 1. Do you remember what a negative 1 does? It's a reciprocal, right? It flips it. So we could take the reciprocal of both sides. The reciprocal of this is n, and the reciprocal of our numbers, well, that becomes 1/2. Here the negative just sort of tags along, but the 6 reciprocal becomes 1/6. Those are our final answers to this second problem. Now, again, we went through that kind of quick. really, it's all about recognizing this, right? That x has become x to n to the negative 1, and that will make everything line up. So if that's still not clear to you, of course, bring your questions to our Zoom meeting or try it out in the homework. I'm going to leave you guys with a problem to do right down here. It's more similar to the first one that we did in part A. So I think this video hasn't been going very long so far. So why don't we do it here in this video? So if you want to try it out on your own, I highly recommend that. Pause the video now. Try this one out. Take as much time as you need. When we start up again, when you start the video up again, we'll do it together. Okay. I'm going to begin the solution now. Let's take a look here. Let's do the hard part first. What did x get replaced by? Now this one's a little bit easier to spot. It's the 2x minus 9. Having that thing already in parentheses squared kind of gives it away. And then our values of a, b, and c are right there for us. Okay, let's go for it. So I've got 2x minus 9 equals negative b plus or minus square root that entire b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. Okay. 2x minus 9, copy that. This will become positive 6. What is underneath that square root? I'm just going to type this whole thing in. I got positive 144. And 2 times 1 is 2. This is going to work out pretty well. Square root of 144, you might know to be 12. Then I'm going to write the two equations out, one with the plus, one with the minus. And we're just going to keep working this down. 18 over 2 is 9. Negative 6 over 2 is negative 3. And so we got the two numbers here, but we're not done. We need to solve these both for x, so we're going to add 9. 2x equals 18, divide by 2, x equals 9. Same thing over here, add 9. 2x equals 6, divide by 2, x equals 3. Those are our two solutions. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video, you tried that out. Even better, if you got these answers, hey, try out the homework, and I'll see you in our live meeting.